awesome song to play on the acoustic guitar. Maybe you recognized it, maybe you didn't, but this song is in a completely different key than what you probably are used to. That was the intro to Who Can It Be Now? Okay, you probably recognize that song from Men at Work from the early 80s. Really upbeat, poppy song. You know, just really upbeat. You know, at that time, a lot of the music back in the 80s was upbeat like that. So, if you didn't know, so after Men at Work were basically done, Colin Hay, the chief songwriter and frontman, lead singer for Men at Work, went off to what I would say is a very successful solo career. If you weren't aware of that, you've got to go and find out, see the solo stuff that he did. It's fantastic stuff. Many albums, some great songwriting and music on that you've got to check out. One of the albums that he did was called Man at Work. Basically, he had taken some of the Men at Work tunes, rearranged them, and this was one of them on that album. I call it an album because actually I have the LP. 3-4 years ago, maybe, Colin was playing a show up at the Newton Theater in Newton, New Jersey. And I went up there for that with a buddy of mine and his family. And it wasn't a solo show. He was with his band. So, again, he was doing more of when he played the Men at Work song, it was more of the stuff you're accustomed to. But he had an album for sale there. And it was called Man at Work. And it was those rearranged acoustic type versions of those Men at Work songs. And the coolest thing about that was the LP. It's an LP, but when you open it up, the vinyl is actually orange. So it was really cool. So if you get the opportunity, number one, check out the music. Get the vinyl if you can. Get some of the solo work, because honestly, there's some amazing, just the songwriting. I mean, you sit down and you listen. If you're a songwriter and you're trying to aspire to be a songwriter and write music, write lyrics, you've got to start with him, because you wouldn't think to. Trust me, check it out. So this song, Who Can It Be Now? Again, we all kind of know the tune. Arranged a little bit differently, pretty simple for the most part. I'm going to take you through just some of the changes in the chords, the intro, verse, chorus. There's a bit of a bridge, that sort of thing. I'll apologize now, because I will do a little bit of singing just to kind of use it as a guide track. And you'll find out pretty quickly how singing is not for me. So you can hold the comments to yourself at that point. All right, but let's get right into it. So what we're doing is we're starting with, basically, it's a B minor type of chord. Probably the hardest chord for this particular song. I know if you're a beginner, some of the basic chords you might know already. A D, a C, an E minor, an A. But the whole theme is kind of based off of a B minor. So, again, standard B minor, bar chord. So, starting on, the B on the second fret is your root, and then, you play that bar chord. What we're going to do a little bit differently here is we're going to hold that shape. Let's take our pinky off, so now it becomes like a B minor 7, okay? And instead of barring the entire second fret, I'm going to just have my finger on that root note of the B on the 5th string, and I'm going to have the G open and the E open. So that kind of gives you that eerie type of, mood that he's building in that intro. And all we're going to do is we're going to just pick 1, 2, 3, 4 down, and we come right back up. So what it's going to be is starting on that B note. Pretty, I'll say simple stuff in comparison to some other things I played. But it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So you're starting with the B, you're going to go down to the B string as well, where you have your 3rd fret B string hit with your middle finger. And you're going to come right back up. And then what I do is, just for the timing, to keep my timing right, I might just hit a couple other notes just to keep the timing mechanism going in my head. Once you do that, the only thing we're going to do differently is we're taking our finger off of that B note on the 2nd string right there. So it's going to be from this to your open A. That's kind of building the mood, basically. So it's open. So I think the key with this, again, the B and the A root is what's giving us that mood. That open E, though, almost acts like a turnaround at times for you to go back into the root. So the variation of this and this, we're going to do twice, total of 2 times. So it's that's 1. And then at the end of it, we're just going to strum. Okay? That's going to take us to the verse. You can get through this, then you can get through the rest of the song okay. We're going to go to a D. Okay? Then we go to a C add 9. And then what we're doing is we're just going to take the bass note of that C on the 5th fret, and we're going to just go down down 1 fret to the B. So it's 1 time on the D, 1 time on that C add 9. When we make the change to the root on the B, 2 times. Okay, so who can it be knocking at my door? Okay, and at the very end of that piece for the verse, there's a turnaround where you really need to hit that to just kind of give that song a little bit of push to go to that next part, which is still the verse. It's going to be, again, from that B on the bass note on the 5th string to an open A. Okay? And then that's what we're looking to get. Back into the D. So B. So you're going to do that 4 times, okay? That progression 4 times by itself. When you finish the 4th time, you're going into the chorus. Chorus is the same thing as the intro, basically. So we're going to go, let's come out of the verse now. I'll do that last part of the verse, the verse, and we'll go into the chorus, okay? Hit that open A by mistake. Sorry if you caught that. But basically, again, just like the verse, we're going to do that twice, okay? So, and then it's right back into the verse again. Okay? So, that's the verse again. So, do that again another 4 times, back into the chorus. Who can it be now? Right? And then we're going to go into the bridge. 2 chords. It's E minor, A. You're going to play that progression, the E minor and the A, 4 times. You can get away with just 4 times through, no big deal. What I tend to do is, so in the band that I play in, the acoustic band Failure to Launch, when I play it with Tom, what we tend to do is, Tom's got such a range on him that when it's just like his voice is another instrument at times. So it allows me to maybe just kind of embellish some of these notes a little bit more. So I'll play the E minor. And on the A, I might just do some, hammers and pulls, But again, 4 times through. When we get to the 4th one, again, what I do is, usually when we're playing it, it's just one guitar. So I try to do some things with Tom and his voice because he starts to do a bit of a climb vocally going into that, I guess it could be a solo section. It's just more of like, well, there's no solo, but it's a solo. It's got that pad there for a solo, right? So when I go, what I tend to do for that last time around is I'll start climbing a little bit too. Not much, but just enough where you can hear it. So it's just on the B string. What I'm doing is I'm holding an A. I'm holding a bar chord. And when I'm holding that bar chord, I've already got the second fret on the B string down. And then I'll climb one more fret up to the, from a C sharp to a D to an E. So it's... Right, so that goes into that last, like I said, it's kind of a solo section if you want to do something over it. I'm not sure what else you can call it. But it's basically a D. To that C add 9, but it's just those two chords. You're not going anywhere else. Four times. That's it. And after that fourth time, we're going right back into the chorus. Just like the verse, just like the chorus, you go through that twice, okay? And then it's the outro. Fairly simple on the outro. The only difference there, only variation is there'll be the last chord. Again, bit of a some embellishing some of the notes just to kind of give it something different. So the end of the song is A. So it's who can it? And it's just, that's what it is. 4 times. So you go through 3 the same way. And then what I do is on that 4th time, when I come back to the G, I'm changing my fingering a little bit here. Instead of, your standard G like this, just how you kind of have that shape, I'm then going to take my ring finger, use that for my root, use my middle finger for the 5th string, and use my pinky for that high G on the 1st string. And what it does is it gives me this finger here to go and do some hammers on the B string for that C note. So it becomes a suspended chord at that point. So I'll go through it for the whole 4 times. You can hear what I'm doing there. That's 1. Doing there is just giving it a little bit of an accent. You don't even have to. I think I usually start with my index finger on that C, and then I just end on the G note or on the G string or G chord, basically. But that's really all it is. Great tune. What I would suggest is, again, if you listen to the song that Colin Hay did when he rearranged it. Whether you're playing it acoustic or even with an electric, somehow with a band by yourself, he has a lot of effects on that. It's like chorus and delay to kind of give it that almost like a wet sound. Just gives it a lot of depth when you listen to it. So definitely check that out. You don't have to, but if you have the ability to do so, give it some of that effect. A lot of chorus, some reverb. Make it sound like you're hearing it from a distance. That's probably the best way to do that. But again, check out Colin's solo stuff. Some great things on there. A lot of albums. Great songs too. I mean, I'll put them in the description. Some of the albums, some of the songs that are just, you sit back and listen to them and it's like, wow, some great songwriting there. But unfortunately, people don't know about them because all they do is they know about from Men at Work. So do a little bit of digging. Check him out. It's definitely well worth it. Some great music. He's great to see live. Matter of fact, I know very soon he's going to be here in the Jersey area. I think in March or April he's going to be down at Monmouth University. So I know he's got a tour coming up. So definitely worth checking out if you can do it. So thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.